Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. My name, if you haven't guessed already, is Mysterious Mr. Ryan, and this is the Romantic Getaway house building video. So, I had the idea, because it's coming up on Valentine's Day, and it's the weekend, and everything sort of has fallen quite right for the channel, so I've decided that what I want to do is have a nice, romantic place for you and your Sims to get away to and enjoy the Valentine's Day weekend. So, to start off with then, the design of this is more like a hotel rather than a getaway. So I did a getaway before, which was my cottage, which I did a little while back. That was quite a little while back actually. And this is actually more like a hotel rather than just a little log cabin. So the actual design of this, pretty erratic in shape, but it's quite a modern feel. But this is capable of holding 4 Sims couples in it quite comfortably. So at the moment this is saved as just a general residential lot, but you could easily turn this into some form of community lot so your Sims could actually use this. So then, what I've started off then is laid out the base area here of the floors and even marked off some of the rooms. You can see a bit of a strange shape of rooms, but that's because of the strange exterior of the build itself. So as we move to the back area here then, we've actually got what will be a patio area. Kind of like a decking patio seating area at the back, and we can see I'm just having a few issues now with the design of this, and long story short, this is a prime example of some of the hell I go through when I build these videos. And I was asked not long after I started YouTube by the Sims community. I did a little interview with them and they asked how long does it take me to record my videos, and that's where I was honest, and I was not lying when I said I record every single one of my videos in one take, and the one take should be pretty much flawless. If I make any mistakes, it depends on the caliber of mistake. Something like this I would usually cut out or restart for, but if it's just a few item changes, I would just sort of leave them and cut them in editing. As we can see there was quite a few errors and quite a few issues I had. This was the 8th time I had started the record for this build, and I had screwed it up the previous 7, so in the end this was the best I'd managed to do it, sort of in the fewest attempts, so I left it in there. We can see back to the build though. Let's move back to this bit. What we can see is I've raised the whole foundation up to probably about halfway and then put that amazing brick and dark black trim around the edge there for the foundation tiles, which really contrasts amazingly well off the wallpaper we're going to use a bit later on. So as we move to the upper story now, every floor should actually be set to the medium wall height. So I will actually change this one because this is actually on the lowest setting at the moment. So just going around, we can see I've left 2 areas open there, which are going to be kind of a strange walkway seating areas. At the moment they don't make much sense, but once we actually start furnishing the build, they will look amazing. And again, some of my favourite designs in this are taken from other builds I've done. And also I came up with some amazing concepts that I hope to use again, and this is one of them. So I have used this fence area here and basically made, in the UK we call them a trestle. In gardening it allows all vines and plants to grow across them and stuff. In your country they may call them something different, but at least here in the UK we call them a trestle. So these would allow amazing plants and vines to grow across, and by opening them out, I imagine that with when I actually come to put in the plants a bit later on, you'll actually start to see what I'm talking about when I say it looks stunning. I imagine if you put a mod on this game, maybe with some kind of shaders, I'm not sure if such a thing exists, or some kind of lighting engine on here, this would look amazingly cool, having the sun shine through all the plants and stuff to get a green glow on these walkways. I'm imagining it now, it sounds cool in my head, so I hope this is something that someone's done. But again, if you guys have any of these mods, I personally don't use them. If you guys use any mods, anything like that that might have this kind of shaded thing I'm talking about, tweet me a picture. I'd love to see what this looks like, because I've got in my head what it looks like, and I hope it looks as cool in real life. So on the outside of the build then, you can see what I've done then is on that upper story, I've put that little half wall in there, just to get a bit of separation on the roof area as well, and then put in this amazing pink brick around the outside of the build, and I love this pink brick, and I use this design style of pink brick as a flooring as well, and I also changed the colours a little bit. But as we move up to the upper story now, this is the kind of balcony area here, so we can see very similar style as the one below, but I've just recessed it a little bit, and this will be accessed through this upper story. While I talk about access, there is no access to the roof itself. The roof itself is completely sealed off from everything, but if you wanted to, you could easily open up with a set of stairs. Talking of stairs, let's move to the front courtyard area. One of my favourite designs I have come up with to date. And I say that for a lot of my builds, and that is because I usually don't release a build unless I really like it. And this is one of those builds I love it. And that is not just because I've just built a heart either. The heart in the centre is amazing. So this design here, many of you might be aware from watching the Roman villa build that this is kind of a similar style. I had a fountain in the centre with the sort of fences around the edge which had a kind of plants, and that's where I got inspiration for this. So I've put the heart swimming pool in here. I've put that amazingly bright reflective flooring in white, and I've put this amazing pink wall around the edge, and then put the red liquid through it, and then at night we can see how amazing that lights up. This then, surrounded by the fence either side, gets this amazing central courtyard surrounded by the buildings encompassed, and it's just so cool. I really like this. Just while I mention it now, as we saw there, the move object cheat just going on, so it allowed me to place some of these items here. Cheats that are enabled for this build, as always, move objects cheat, which we saw turn on just now, and also unlock gameplay entitlement. Unlock gameplay entitlement, I'm pretty much going to say is always on. The move object cheat, it can be a bit hit and miss, but assume it's on unless I tell you otherwise. So if you do want to build this yourself, you will need to enable both of those. And I will actually offer a word of caution, at least in my game. I used the unlock gameplay entitlement a little while back, and basically it's permanently unlocked everything. So if you are playing this game and you'd rather keep things a bit more vanilla so you actually have to unlock stuff, do not use the unlock gameplay entitlement cheat. Otherwise what will happen is the items will be permanently unlocked for you. So every time you try and build, they will be available. So just bear that in mind. If you do want to replicate this, you may need to turn that cheat on. And in doing so, it may ruin some of your sort of actual gameplay. So just bear that in mind. At least that's how it's worked in my game. But while we're talking about my game, we can see here I'm just going around the edge of the build now with this pink brick I was talking about, and I will actually go with the hedges all the way around, and we'll put some bushes in the centre as well. As for the actual fountains, we can see there's a couple of fountains either side of the walkway overhang, and there's also a couple of sort of areas where I could have actually put sprinkler systems as well. I will say now there are no fountains on this particular build, not sprinkler fountains at least. The actual fountains there are completely empty. The reason for this is I actually suffer with a bit of a hint of creative block when it came to designing the fountains for this. And yeah, that's true. Even I suffer with a creative block. I'm not full of creative ideas all the time, and this was a prime example. So I've actually left it open for you guys to do whatever you would like with. So again, if you guys do some amazing fountain designs or have any fountain designs you want to share with me, I love hearing from you guys, so just hit me up on Twitter, send me a direct message, leave a comment linking me to Imgur, wherever makes you feel comfortable. But please send me your pictures of your designs or your builds, and I'd love to see what you guys do with some of the designs I've come up with, or some of your own designs. I'd love to see what you guys have built. So just as we move around, you can see I've put all the hedges and bushes all the way around, following that red theme throughout, and I'm just placing the only bit of roof on the entire build. And I am proud to say that only bit of roof was a complete accident. I accidentally built something there and then forgot to take it out, and then when I'd actually built the outside of the build itself, it looks stunning, so I left it. So it's the red tile there with the red trim, and it's just a subtle bit of roof, but when I put in the windows in the front part of the build, it will blend in perfectly and it looks so cool. Speaking of windows then, a lot of windows on the outside of this build. Again, they were sort of somewhat of a mistake. They started off as just putting some at the back walls here by the door either side, and then by the end of it I'd actually surrounded most of the build in them. But again, they let so much light in and they looked so cool. So really pleased with how that turned out. These balcony areas then, you can see I'm just opening up now with the posts and stuff and letting some of the natural light in. Again, a bit of a strange aesthetic choice, but it kind of broke up the walls a little bit. Originally they were closed off and it just didn't look as good. So with the overhead trestles and the garden areas that I've been talking about earlier, it just looks really nice. So just going around placing the rest of the windows and doors now, we can see pretty much the same windows and doors used throughout the whole build, with the exception of the front area there. We can see what I've actually done is opted for a slightly different design. Again, it just broke up the front of the build a little bit and just made it look so much cooler. So now it's time to work on the trestles itself. So I've actually opted for a slightly different design for this one. These are actually blue and green. I was originally using red, but at the very last moment I decided to go with the blue, and I'm actually really pleased with how it turned out. And using the move object sheet, you can see what I've done is left a little gap in the center there, and that is using the curved brush, which gives a subtle curve to it rather than that sharp, vicious, straight edge that you get from a triangle or from a square. And it just opens up that area just enough to let that little bit of natural light through that just makes it look so cool. So really pleased with how both of those turned out on the front of those walkways. As we move to the outside of the build then, this particular part, we're going to do some bit of lighting now, so just lighting it up with some basic lights before we move into the interior of the build itself. So then, what I've started with is red. Red is pretty much prominent throughout most of this build. So red carpet then, red walls with that white trim as well, with the amazing, just changed the wallpaper there, with the amazing dark wood for the bedding, for the bedside tables, the chairs, the table for the TV on, the sofa, kind of two-seater bit, the bookcase, all in that dark wood to really complement one another. And every room has its own ensuite, and this is no exception. So nice big corner bathroom in here, amazing tiles on the floors and walls. We've got a shower in there and the sink to match, and a toilet there as well. So that is one room. Now the rooms themselves are pretty consistent throughout the whole build. Although the designs and aesthetic choices may change, we can see this one opted for a bit of a different kind of time stamp. With an amazing white, wood and pink design. The actual base items are pretty much the same throughout. Every room will have its own TV, everyone will have its own desk, bookcase, ensuite, and this is obviously bedroom number 2, and there are a total of 4 bedrooms. So the ensuite for this one, slightly different layout, shower in the corner, we've got the sink, toilet, corner bathtub, bit of artwork on the wall, and moving there. That pretty much finishes off that particular room as we move into the main sort of reception area. So as I mentioned earlier, this particular build is currently a residential lot and will remain that way. It's up to you if you want to turn this into some form of community lot. I wasn't really sure of what you wanted to go, but I will actually turn the community lot stuff on and off shortly in the designs of this. So we can see moving through to the inside of the build, we've got that amazing floor using the mosaic design, and then with each side of that amazing floor we've got a couple of almost reception desk areas and the 2 stairs leading up to the upper stories at the back there out of the way. Just going to put a modern style handrail on that with that glass there as well, and just a couple of decorative items. So you can see the retail lot has gone on, so I can then put the tills in and it would have gone back to normal basically straight away, so I could get my regular items back. So the actual reception area, really nice place there as we move into the next of the bedrooms. So this one here, we can see a bit more of a vibrant design here. So we've got amazing red vibrant walls, we've got that red wood floor here, we've got the black and red bed there with that amazing rug below it, the bedside cabinets to match, as well as the chest of drawers will go in front of the bed as well. On that back wall there, using one of my favourite designs, which is those 3 pictures all in unison together, and they just make that wall look amazing. So really pleased with that. TV at the foot of the bed, and also a modern style bookcase as well. Just going through, we've put the mirror at the back there, a couple of decorative items, so we've gone ahead and put the little plant in the corner there. We've got space for a desk as well, desk, chair, and also the computer in the corner. A bit of artwork on the wall as well. We're going to put in another plant and that a little teddy bear carrying his heart, which is pretty much in every build, but this is Valentine's Day after all, so it kind of fits nicely. So let's move into the next of the ensuite. So this ensuite here, quite simple. Every ensuite pretty much the same. Bog standard, shower, sink, toilet, corner bath will fit in somewhere in amongst here. So corner bath in the corner this time, shower in the corner. We've got the sink there with the circle mirror in the toilet as well. Now it's time to move on to the last of the bedrooms. So this one following exactly the same. There's no extra grandeur here. We've got tiled floor, tiled walls, shower, sink, corner bath going in there, toilet on the wall as well, naturally, as we move into the main build itself. So this room is the last one. So what we're going to do is we're going to put in this red and black trimmed, or it's actually red and dark brown trimmed wallpaper, red wood floor, a lighter wood this time, but still quite dark with that red bed there, cabinets either side, desk in the corner as well with its own red chair and computer, and rug underneath the main bed and bedding area to take some of the wood floor and take some of the coldness away if you get up in the middle of the night. Chinese lantern style lighting there, chest of drawers in the corner with naturally the bear holding his little pink heart. one of my favourite toys in the game has got to be that at the moment. So really pleased that that's managed to make it in every single room so far. We've also got the 2-seater sofa there with the view of the TV looking out behind it, that amazing courtyard. We've got a mirror there as well as a couple of decorative items and the bookcase in the corner. Moving to the outside then, on this patio are a couple of plants either side here and just a couple of seating areas underneath those lights. Again, just a nice place to come and sit. Moving up a story then, so this particular area is where we move on to more the community areas. So this is a place for the bar, so this is just a little bar with a couple of seats either side of it. Again, it's kind of outside, so just a nice place to be. And this one here is the sort of smaller side. So this one we have the trunk there with the TV on it. We've got a 2-seater sofa there. We've also got the stereo there as well in case you want to listen to a bit of music, and it would just be a nice place for you to come and sit in the sunshine or in early evening and watch some TV. Moving into the upstairs community area then, so this amazing red walls, amazing red floor, a couple of doors got in now, but one of those will be moved a little bit later. Lighting going through here, we've got a nice big rug with the piano on it and also the massaging chair as well. And we've got bits of artwork on the wall and guitar, so if you want to make some music together you easily could. A couple of easels there, couple of games as well, so your Sims can come and enjoy a nice couples relaxing time and maybe even get a few drinks or two. So we've got a nice bar in the centre here as well. As we move through them, bit of artwork on the floor and that running water design, stereo going in there, and we also have a nice big TV as well if in case your Sims don't really want to sit outside or sit in their rooms. They can come use the dance floor, watch some TV and just have a bit of a nice time. So then, as we move on to the last few areas of the build then, we're going to start off with this room here, and this was actually a small mistake here, but I was so far through the progress I didn't have the heart to start again, so I actually started decorating the wrong room there. So as we move to this one, this is actually the gym area, so we can see we've got again some Chinese lanterns, we've got some amazing glowing mirrors on the wall there, stereo in the corner and a couple of running machines. As we move on to the next of the rooms, this is an upstairs bathroom, again just somewhere if you want to come and don't really want to go back to your room on the downstairs floor, maybe you don't want to have to run, you can just come here, grab a quick shower. After you've worked out in the gym, there's even the bath in there as well in case you want to, and some lights. Very nice. And then the last area, this is the upstairs kitchen kind of area, I guess if you want to call that. This is sort of the dining room, so it's all outside. We've got the nice corner tables in each corner here with the white chairs, and each one has that lovely single rows on it as well. And this is the kitchen area where all the cooking happens, so quite open, no actual chef staff in here, so you could easily, your Sims could come and make something, cook for the other families maybe this is a massive group getaway thing, whatever you want to use it for. The idea is this is a blank canvas for you and your Sims to use. Just finishing up the kitchen area now with this lovely cabinet designs, microwave going in there as well as a coffee maker. We've even got the chocolate fountain as well. And then just finishing up as we move on to the last bit of the build, which is the seats on the back. And then we move on to the glamour shots. So as I leave you with the glamour shots then, if you have liked this video, obviously you can download this build on the Sims 4 gallery, just search Mysterious Mr. Ryan, or links in the description down below. And there you go, ladies and gentlemen. If you have liked this video, I want to give it a thumbs up and consider getting subscribed. And don't forget, if you want to stay up to date with me and my latest projects and ideas, give me a follow on Twitter. Links on your screen or the description box down below. Finally, if you finish checking out all that cool stuff down there and want to watch another video, give either of those two icons on top of your screen and a cheeky click to be taken to one of my other playlists. But for now, ladies and gentlemen, I'm out. Stay awesome, and I'll see you next video.